being good to our young people. You know, in this shrinking civic space where we've seen NGOs closed, and we've seen people having hardships to express their views and opinions, mostly the young people. But we thank Faraja for standing and giving us such spaces to always express our opinions as the young people. So we will have to look at the order paper which have been shared in the group. If you haven't opened it, make thorough research so that by the time you come here, you have something to say, and it should be from an informed point of view. So you can be making some research so that when your time comes, then we are going to also try to be audible, because the microphones are on, but you can't hear yourself. So mostly our sisters, when you come here, you have to be audible enough. So right now, we are starting, but before we go on, I would request we first have brief introductions from each of us, mostly your name and the district, most importantly, you come from. Or if you're coming from an institution in Busoga here, you can also tell us. So I will start from, can I start from my right or my left? Okay, let me start from my right, ladies first. So my sister, then we shall follow that order. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eseri Masabe Oliver, Jinja District.
Good morning to you all. My name is Chisache Elizabeth Esther from Kamuli District.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jen Frances Nawire from Busia District.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Moviro Akram from Medical Lab Training School, Jinja.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nachilia Sandra from Jinja.
Good morning. My name is Jemba Michael from Jinja and working with Hummingbird Foundation.
It's not working, but good morning. Oh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. My name is Linda Eunice Kaibale. I'm from Kamuli District, and I'm the founder of Tujifunze Africa Foundation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Mugisha Josephs. I come from MUBS Jinja campus. I act as a guild speaker there. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by names of Semambo Hassan. I'm an alumni of MUBS, and I work with Kakira Sugar as an auditor. I'm a youth. I love youth so much. And I'm the founder of MUBS Jinja Tax Society. We basically deal with taxes, making sure that the youths are well conversant with what? With the taxes.
Protocol observed. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by the name of Rwamalo Batrayan. I'm a student at MUBS Jinja campus. I'm from Wakiso district. I'm well conversant with this debate, or let me call it youth parliament, because it is more productive to youth and all people in the country. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abe Brenda, a student of Chambogo University and a guild representative councillor. I stay in Jinja. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chasim Elizabeth. I'm a student at Macquarie University Business School. I'm from Jinja, basically from Butagaya sub-county.
Good morning. My name is Phoebe Deborah Kauma. I'm soon to graduate this next Friday, I'm from almost every district in Busoga. From Jinja, Kamuli, and Mayuge.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mwembere Chosirada from Mayuge district.
Good morning, honorable members. Ring Mayengo from Jinja.
Good morning to you all. My name is Namale Nashiba. I'm from Mayuge district.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Sasha Brenda from Jinja City.
Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, honorable members. Nambi Claire is my name, Director Initiative for Girls Empowerment Uganda, contesting for speakership. Trust me with your vote. Thank you.
Good morning, honorable members. I'm Peace Mbaiza. I'm a founder of So In High Uganda. It's an initiative that aims at uplifting girls and young women, leadership and involvement in climate action, and also addressing inequities that hinder girl child education in Busoga region. I'm happy to be here with you all. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. For record purpose, I'm Dikusoka Brian. I'm an academic staff from Makerere University Business School. In simple term, call me a junior lecturer from Makerere University Business School, Jinja campus. But as well, I dabble even at main campus. Thanks so much. I'm contesting for the speakership position in this second Busoga Youth Parliament. Thank you.
I'm so sorry to cut you guys short, but amid this task, we've been joined by Mr. Muzosa Geoffrey. He's the Principal Community Development Officer, and he's going to take us through a session. You're most welcome, sir. This is Busoga Sub-Regional Youth Parliament. It happens annually, on annual basis, from different sub-regions of the country, and then after we have a national one in the Parliament of Uganda. It is brought by Faraja African Foundation in partnership with European Union, GIZ, German Corporation, and other partners. We form a session of Parliament to give space to the young people to deliberate on different issues. And we always have an order paper which they have with different issues that affect the young people, and then they can deliberate on the same and express their views. We are doing introductions. We have people from National Youth Council here, have guild presidents here, have young people representing youth organizations, mostly in Busoga sub-region. You're most welcome. Yeah, to cut you short, it's like he has another a session to attend right now. So he requested to first make his, take us through his session, and then we can allow him go on, and then we can also continue from where we started. So I would like to take this opportunity to request you to join me with a round of applause and welcome him to take us his session, and then we can continue from there. You're most welcome, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think I should be audible enough. Oh. So, Geoffrey Muzosa is my name, the head of department. community-based services, and that is the department responsible for the youth. And I'm also representing the town clerk in this engagement. There are quite a number of activities happening in the city, and they require our participation as the city officials. So sympathize with us and agree to the terms under which we shall operate. We'll be stepping in and out so that we can be able to attend to other activities. Otherwise, I want to welcome to Jinja City. Those that are not from Jinja, you're most welcome to Jinja City. I was informed by the Youth Council leadership in the city about this event. I think this is the second time that it is happening in Jinja. And as the state leadership and as technical department, we are privileged to host the youth from around Busoga. When the youth leadership comes and engages the way you do, I think this is a very, very welcome gesture, because it provides us with a platform for you people to actually interact and also discuss certain issues that affect the youth. So it is a good engagement, and as a department and as an institution of Jinja City, we really support this kind of engagement. It is important that you really discuss youth-related issues. How do you support your youth? Because you're leaders. How do you engage the youth productively? You know, there's a tendency for the youth to engage into negative energy. If there's a demonstration, the youth will be there. If there's this, but I think over time, that negativity is also changing, because we are getting youth that are enlightened, they're in school, and you should be the change agents for the fellow youth. You must be change agents, that youth can engage positively, put their energies on matters that further the youth cause. I was also told to speak about policy formulation in the local government setup. Now, how do we come up with policies as a city? We do, first of all, have issues. There must be an issue at hand that requires policy to be made. For example, it could be about street parking. Let me give an example that will be easily understood. Street parking. That yes, we have cars that are coming to town, congesting the streets, and these ones could be a source of revenue to the council. So how then do we begin, under what circumstances do we begin having fees levied? The issue comes up like that one. So when an issue like that one comes up, it is first of all discussed by the technical planning committee. The state has a technical planning committee, which is constituted of heads of department. Heads of department constitute that technical planning committee. And after discussion of such an issue, it now goes to the executive committee of the council. And that executive committee is headed by the state mayor. So the recommendations or reports that are generated by the technical planning committee channeled to the executive committee of the council, chaired by the state mayor, who also make of time, understand what kind of recommendations the technical planning committee has made, give their inputs, and now forward such recommendations also to the standing committee of the council. We have 3 standing committees of the council. We have a committee responsible for works. There's a committee for social services. And social services committee handles health, education, and the community issues. So issues concerning the youth, the children, persons with disabilities are discussed in the social services committee. And then finally, there's also a finance committee. So in that line committee discusses those issues. They are now forwarded. That recommendation is forwarded to the council, the full council. That council is chaired by the speaker. And our council meetings are usually held in this venue. These are the council chambers. And I think you can see the setup that surely should be discussing serious issues. So the councillors and technical officers sit in these chambers and deliberate on such an issue. And the council will pronounce itself on that particular matter and say, yes, we are passing this resolution. Like the example I gave you, relating to street parking, we are saying, let's now have a policy on collection of fees on the streets. But it doesn't end at the council level. We are further mandated to consult the office of the Attorney General. When you draft such policies, there's an input from that technical office, the Attorney General. The Attorney General, they advise on matters relating to the laws in Uganda. And any such laws that are passed by the council should not conflict with the national laws. You know we have the national laws, you are aware? Yes. So any laws that are passed at a lower level, like local government, like state level, they should not conflict with the national laws. So any laws that are passed at this level and conflict the national laws are null and void. So you cannot legislate on something that has already been legislated upon at national level. So because these other sub-national or the policies that are made at these levels should be addressing a concern, a policy issue that was not addressed at national level. So if our policies are found not to be in conflict with the national laws, then they are blessed and say, now you proceed and implement. We're also supposed to gazette, so that people understand that yes, these are now the laws relating to this kind of activity in the city. So by and large, that is the trend on policy formulation at this level. With the submission I've made and the area remarks, I want to wish you good deliberations and officially declare this engagement open. Thank you.
Okay, another round of applause. I think it has been a very interesting and a beneficial session. We've known about something like policy formulation because some people maybe think people wake up and then just pass something from nowhere. So we are most humbled. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And thank you so much for always loving the young people. And we are always here as young people to be guided. And we promise we are going to always reduce on the negative energy and try to see how to engage the different stakeholders. I thank you so much. And I think we can go on with our session of introduction, I think from our colleague. Thank you so much.
Morning, everyone. My name is Isaac Okello. I'm a member of the National Youth Council, representing the people of Soroti City. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. My name is Andrew Bogere from Jinja City, representing Busoga Kingdom. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Wile Lamek from Busia District.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kisa Mubarak from Iganga, Director Al-Masir Organization. It does smaller things, giving boreholes in the Busoga region, giving bursaries. That is, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Namyaga Salima from Iganga, a graduate of IU with a bachelor's degree in social work. I'm the director, Hope Ministries, Uganda.
Morning, guys. I am Farid Musose Muganda. Let me say, former student of Makerere University Business School, Jinja campus, and the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Girls Initiative. This initiative, I can give you a vision. Our vision is to become major stakeholders in building community without child marriages, where girls and women enjoy equal status with boys and men. People may ask why everyone comes up with an initiative about girls. You know what I can tell you now? If you leave the girls collapse, the nation collapses. That's when I can give you an example. When we say, let now men die, the world will continue to go. But when we say women die, the world stops immediately because no one will give birth. But when men die and women remain, we still have those pregnant women. We'll give birth to the boys, and boys will marry the women around.
You're most welcome to this place. A good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, my name is Amenton Vanessa, Guild President, YMCA Jinja branch. Very passionate about the youth and always happy when I find us gathered in such places. You're warmly welcome. Thank you.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kalule Rashid from Jinja City. I work with the Jinja local government in the community department, basically looking at people with disabilities. Under Inclusion Works program, where we look at people with disabilities, how can they be allowed into formal world like other people. I'm so happy to be with you. Looking forward for health discussions. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Namite Goron, a student at Makerere Business School, Jinja campus, a businessman in Jinja, and also a lion.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ismail Munyam. I'm a member of the Youth Sounding Board, that's by the EU, and I'm glad to be here. I'm a doctor. And it's always a pleasure to meet these fellow young people. And beyond that, I'm also a lead. I'm the deputy director for the Youth Link Network. It's a UK-based charity operating here and in Jamaica. Thank you so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by the name of Wamono Israel Mike. Professionally, I'm a procurement officer. I'm operating, though I'm not in the field of procurement, I'm operating giant safaris. So I'm a tourist consultant. And cross-border wise, I'm a clearing agent. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yes, good morning. I'm Edmond Watongola, Ngovi. I'm a born of Luuka district, but currently I stay in Jinja. I work with an organization called Snooper, which advocates for the rights of persons with albinism, like me, in the Busoga sub-region and Uganda at large.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan Mukama, an alumnus of Makerere University Business School, and a former guild speaker, in fact the longest serving guild speaker of MUBS, and currently I'm an accountant by profession.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Namlondo Lilian. I'm working with MUBS as an administrator, the former vice president, Makerere University Business School, Jinja campus. I'm the founder, Lily's Initiative. I live in Jinja. It's my city. I'm a born of Jinja. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning to everyone. By names, I am Apio Esther. I know most of you are wondering since this is Busoga sub-region. By names, I am Apio Esther. I am an Itesot, but I am a youth advocate at heart. I am a teacher by profession, and I am a youth leader with FAO Uganda. And what we do is to advocate for the girl child, but we have not left out the boy child. So it is 70% girl child, 30% boy child, where they give scholarships to all these youth in order for them to achieve their dreams. So in Busoga region, we are mainly in Luuka, we are in Buyende, and other districts. Thank you so much. Nice meeting you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Anek Pola. You can call me a Choli Princess. Born and raised from Busoga in Kamuli district, Namasagali in particular. I'm a youth advocate under the She Leads project, and I'm a global youth advocate still under UN from She Leads project. Our goal is a sustainable influence of girls and young women in decision-making processes, especially on those issues that are harming the girl child, the cultural norms. So we emphasize on girl child and decision-making with the help of the boys. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Simon Kikulila from Kamuli Namasagali. I'm the Secretary of Sports and Culture Kamuli District Youth Council, as well youth advocate as well. I'm mentoring this Paula here.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Willie Chanwat. I'm a fellow with Teach for Uganda, an organization that works in Busoga region and Buganda region. I'm also a network leader with Sky Girl Initiative, an initiative that deals with training young girls in primary schools on how to make reusable sanitary pads and teach them on menstrual hygiene. You may wonder why men are taking the lead into discussions of girls' empowerment, but I believe it's our responsibility to take care of the women that we have. Otherwise, thank you so much.
Thank you for so much. My name is Chimeneke Abdallah Aziz. I'm from Namtumba Iganga district. I am the guild speaker from Mulago Paramedical, Kampala. Thank you.
Good morning, honorables. Yes, my name is Mpuga Edgar, and I'm also a fellow with Teach for Uganda. We normally call ourselves teachers by choice because we chose to take this path because we got to know about the different inequalities that happen in the education sector in Uganda. And we chose to leave our different professions because I know Chanwat is an accountant, yeah, a project administrator. But we all chose a path where we realized that Uganda has a lot of challenges to do with the education sector. I'm a social worker by profession, but I chose to work. I work in Mayuge, and we are pushing on to make sure that our children continue pursuing education. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, honorable members. Good morning to you all. My name is David Mufuma from Kaliro, and I'm the chairperson of Makerere University Jinja campus. Nice to meet you all.
Greetings to you all. My name is Trevor Mathias Segawa. I am a student of law at Makerere University and a guild representative councillor. I hail from Jinja district, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abu Nidal Wegulo, a student at Chambogo University and a guild representative councillor.
Leaders are corrupt. I talk and I know.
Faraja Digital Television is a free digital platform participating with the youth,
women and men
in civic engagement, economic and Afrocentric development stories. Our heritage sets each and every one of us from the other. At Faraja Digital Television, we educate and sensitize the young people to protect and conserve our African heritage so that it does not lose its authenticity as we pass it on and on from generation to generation.
We provide an insight on the business economics and startups. We also bring you successful stories of young, vibrant entrepreneurs.
Our platform intends to equip you with knowledge that will engage you in policy advocacy, leadership, and community outreach.
Faraja Digital Television,
telling an African story.
My name is called Omony Rogers. I have my own boutique which I'm operating along Lumumba Road, former Adrico Hills factory.
I'm called Asizu Proskovia, and we are in Ovison Trading Center, Bora Sub-County, Alarua District.
I'm Rothmi Ivan from Alangi. This is my enterprise. It is called Sunrise. I'm a tailor.
We are in Alangi today. Mine is to train the entrepreneurs on how to market their products on social media, plus all other social media platforms they can use to market their business.
One of the key focus areas was how do we get digital skills to the young people in West Nile. Most importantly, in the face of COVID, because COVID limited our movements, COVID limited our interactions and our ability to be able to transact or even earn something from our businesses.
We've been having training on digital marketing, doing business on WhatsApp, Facebook.
I received a great training from Advanced Africa and Faraja Africa about digital marketing, which has really impacted a lot in my business of boutique. Because I started the business at a small scale with the worth 200,000, which I used to do it on local sales within the surrounding area, as you see.
I've been trained about 3 times, The first time was on social media, and then plus other things, and then the second time we went for another training on how to make TikTok videos. And then the last one was around May. They are all good trainings. We got a lot of knowledge which we are using to train the entrepreneurs on.
I've gathered skills and knowledge about the digital marketing, about doing business on online marketing, and I've also learned so much so that I can teach the entrepreneurs how to grow their business, not only manually but online.
It is important because you see, when you do business in a shop or at your place, you limit your access to clients within that area. But when you are using this social media, you are able to meet people even far from you. For example, now you come from Arua. When you're coming from Arua, you may expect to meet somebody who's dealing in stationery or somewhere you can eat or you can buy certain things. But if you have ever seen this place on Facebook or on WhatsApp, you can come to me direct because we train them on how to locate their business.
At first, I was so green about it. When I started the business, I was just nothing about digital marketing. I used to have business. In fact, I used to use the platforms for our usual things. But now, when I was transformed, I was taught on how to use the platform by Faraja and Advanced Africa. Really, I've now known the use of social media.
Like the trainers on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Before COVID, each one was doing the business in their own way. Then when these NGO, Advanced Africa and Faraja Africa, they came up with how to do businesses online. That's why I picked interest and decided to also equip our youth so that they can improve on their coverage and sales.
Yeah, my life has changed so much. In fact, I thank Faraja and Advanced Africa because now I'm able to sell online. I've sold many printers online, even I've sold some laptops online, which I used to put in one place, but for now, people call me that I want printer, I want books, I want ABC. I'm able to meet clients who, if they had to come face to face, they couldn't have met me. But because the training I had, I'm able to sell online now. So my market base has increased.
Yes, a very good morning to everyone who's watching Faraja Digital TV. My name is Shedrick Kaibare, and with me
is Namatana Chanzile Tisha.
Yes, today being the 5th day of August, we are live at the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, whereby today is going to be a very different sitting. It won't be the ordinary sitting of the parliamentarians of Uganda. Instead, it will be the youth of the parliament sitting today. Well, this happens to be the 5th edition of the Youth Parliament of Uganda, in that youth are going to get the chance in that very room to discuss the issues that affect them as youth, table bills, pass bills, and have serious debates.
This is not a one-day journey. We started from far back. We've come from sub-regionals, from the different regions around the country, and there is inclusion for everyone, for every youth, to talk about what is actually itching them exactly where they are. Because Kampala issues are not the same as
Guru issues.
Exactly.
Well, we are going to be interacting with a few of the guests who are coming in to be a part of this prestigious day, and we shall always keep you locked in on this Faraja Digital TV. For more information, just stay tuned. We'll get back to you very shortly.
For you as a nominee on the position of the Speaker.
Why do I think that I am able to achieve this?
Together we can generate a new breed of African leaders.
Ezra Ambassador Washande. The reason why I didn't vote is to make a free environment for someone who is coming into the position, not to have bias on me. In the case of any consultation, so that he be free to come and consult me, and I advise him as his senior.
So right now you have just mentioned that you are neutral in this situation. So do you think, I've heard some murmuring that the elections were not fair. Do you think they were fair?
The elections were very fair. Whether you have lost, whether you have won, you need to cooperate because the cause is the same. We are trying to deliberate the youth of this country.
Thank you very much, Ezra. Just before you go, please give us a closing remark and briefly what you expect from this parliament.
I'll first state what we did in our National Youth Parliament, the 4th National Youth Parliament. First and foremost, we discussed the budget of National Youth Council, and it has been put clear that in the next financial year, the National Youth Council budget, it will be increased. Secondly, we discussed about to allow the pregnant young mothers to be allowed to go to school. Thirdly, we have also introduced a National Youth Symposium. So for that matter, I wish them the best in their leadership.
Yes, Faraja, say hello to the people.
Hello, and thank you very much to everyone watching Faraja television. My name is Rubakene Francis Shah, the just elected Deputy Speaker of the National Youth Parliament.
Yes. So, what are your expectations, Mr. Frank Shah?
First and foremost, this National Youth Parliament is a very big avenue or platform for youths in Uganda to actually air out their views, air out their issues that will lead, the way that they air it out will lead to social changes. These changes will help impact the lives of the very many millions of youths outside in Uganda who have not had the opportunity to come to the floor today. My expectation is that the discussions that we are going to have when we resume the House is to discuss critical issues like the parish development issue, development model that is already in execution, that we will hear the youth voices at this point in time, and I hope we can discuss it, scrutinize it, and come out with motions that will, come out with resolutions that will help the native youth out there.
Well, as you can see, in my background is the youth that have been a part of this very prestigious event. Could you please give us a brief breakdown of the whole process of how the Youth Parliament comes about?
For starters, you know, our country has a very high percentage of the youth. Most of us are quite young. So the selection itself, we had over 2,000 participants, 2,000 applicants, sorry. We had over 2,000 applicants, and we had to come down to 150 participants. And this was because of the COVID. You know, we are restricted in terms of numbers, and also financially we can't cater for the millions that we are in this country.
I want you now to tell us, I know along the way, preparing such a very successful event, there are those hiccups you face as organizers. So briefly just tell us a few of the challenges you got.
A few of the challenges I got were most of the applicants wanted to be part of this, but I couldn't have most of them on board. So I am having different lashes out on social media and all that. I'm having calls, I'm having, you know, different people coming to me and wondering whether or not part of this. Yeah, it's quite a big challenge, really. And I'm hoping maybe once the economy stabilizes and we get to have also a proper health system whereby these pandemics are no longer scaring us, we can have a bigger number and we can get to have more people on board. Well, however, I'd like to advise the youth, we can't give up, and we're not about to give up. We keep trying. That's every day we wake up and we're like, let's just the bread. Let's, let's work, let's start the day, let's try again. We are not going to give up.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, you've heard it from the programs manager of Faraja Africa Foundation herself.
My name's Evelyn Akware. I'm very happy to participate in the National Youth Parliament. I've learned many things today which I was not aware of them. First thing, it is important in future, same we must have to participate in National Youth Parliament because it helps us and also people with disabilities to have representatives. Reason why, as we the youth, it is important to be in the parliament to develop many things in Uganda. Because where we are, our economy is not so good. We are not benefiting. Thank you very much.
My name is Boniface Okot. I'm a member of Parliament. I represent the young people of Northern Uganda. But I'm also the chairperson of the Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Youth Affairs.
Thank you very much, Honorable Boniface. Now, when you are on the floor of Parliament earlier on, there's a motion you talked about that you'd like Parliament to really pass on. Could you please tell us more about that motion?
So the motion that I will be able to table or move on the floor of Parliament is a motion for the resolution of Parliament on the state of the youth in Uganda. It's a comprehensive motion that has mostly 4 parts. And the 4 parts are 4 fundamental issues that are affecting the young people of this country. The first one being the issue of youth unemployment and livelihood. The second one being the responsiveness of social services in Uganda to the needs of the youth. Thirdly, is how meaningful youth participation in decision making is in Uganda and the level of gender equality. And then number 4 is on the issue of climate governance. So these are all issues that we want to squarely deal with and see the level of involvement of the young people in these particular processes. So on that same day, I'll also be able to table the resolutions of the National Youth Parliament for onward transmission and for action. Thank you very much.
Yes, once again, thank you so much for staying tuned to Faraja Digital TV. As the saying goes, even the best dancer leaves the dance floor. So what we began as a journey in the morning has finally come to the final end of its lap. So Letitia, tell me, what was among your climax effects of the day?
Oh, I was very surprised to see that people with disabilities were well represented. They had very good points. People who are online actually had the best arguments. I was really impressed. I don't know about you, Shedrick.
Well, actually, me on my side, I was very impressed with the way the youth really debated their issues. Of course, there were little irregularities here and there, but still, they made sure their voice was heard. But let's hope and pray that the government of the Republic of Uganda and the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda really put into use what the youth have told them. As for Faraja Digital TV, I remain Shedrick Kaibale and
Namata Letitia. Stay tuned and we love you.
Thank you. We love you so much. Live from Parliament.
In 2021, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Advanced Africa and Faraja Africa Foundation trained communities in West Nile on entrepreneurship, digital marketing, and living in the COVID-19 era.
We identified specific vulnerable groups, and these were young entrepreneurs. The young entrepreneurs we are looking at here are more those in the informal sector, so they expose themselves. They are at risk to be in contact with, diseases and so on.
First of all, when you look at what happened during when COVID came up, there were lockdowns, not just in Uganda, but all over the.
Truck drivers were empowered, who are now able to reach out to the others, to counsel them, but also positively, help them to go through that period.
I remember when we first heard of COVID and how
it could be prevented. It came with restrictions. And during that time, in order to prevent the spread of the disease, there was a restriction in movement. So that came with a lot of challenges on the community.
During COVID time, movement wasn't easy. Even may find that they may not sell because of that fear. Like they will come and arrest you. Yeah, if I can remember, wherever they arrested me, I closed late like by 5 minutes. They arrested me.
Our health centers are not everywhere. And for you to access services, you have to move from one point to another. For people who are suffering from chronic diseases like HIV and TB, they couldn't go to the facilities to meet their medics or to make refills for their medicines.
But we VHTs, we went to them, we talked to them to observe SOPs so that they can protect themselves. So after that, they decided to come for treatment in the facilities.
As a VST, I'm the first health center down there in the community. I'm their signpost, and it is me to talk to them, to take their problem, and to tell what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to be, and how they're supposed to care for themselves.
We normally move from household to household, passing this information. Also in gathering places, we advise them to maintain SOPs.
In the wake of the pandemic, Advance Africa donated equipment such as a weaving machine to the women's prison in Arua, craft materials to the men's prison in Arua, and a bakery to the men's prison in Paida, as well as starter kits for young entrepreneurs in West Nile.
We train the prison social workers and warders with these skills to be able to translate them or to pass them on to the prison inmates.
This project, it is funded by Advance Africa. They have been able to give prisoners skills. They have managed to support them within prison projects like handcraft, which prisoners have been able to utilize to improve their well-being.
After the COVID-19, managing women prison is a bit challenging. Recently, the Advance Africa provided them with the weaving machine. Now most of them, they have known how to make sweaters and tablecloths, meaning that when they go outside there, after their release, they will be able to make these sweaters and also sell them.
We supported some of the businesses, over 100 businesses with inputs.
When this Advance Africa they came, they gave us some booster kits. Like for me, I received the one sewing machine. By that time, I was not having a machine. And it also, I use it very well and properly to make sure that at least I get something from it. And then it makes me to buy another machine also.
Advance Africa, in partnership with Faraja Africa Foundation, held trainings in Arua and Kampala to equip young entrepreneurs and business mentors with digital marketing and entrepreneurship skills in business. These participants would then go on to train others in these skills.
So they taught us on how to handle customers, even using this digital marketing like Canvas, then WhatsApp business, Facebook page, on how you can advertise your product to someone who is not at your locality.
We trained 10 digital ambassadors who later on we empowered and built their capacity and support to also each of them train 20. It was common knowledge that everyone knows how to use social media. If you didn't know, but not everyone knew how to monetize and have the digital skilling to be able to actually create content for their marketing purposes.
As you can see, the business, it looks small, but when you go online, it's a big business. I received a great training from Advanced Africa and the Faraja Africa about digital marketing, which has really impacted a lot in my business of boutique. Because I started the business at a small scale with the worth 200,000. But as I received the training from Faraja Africa and the Advanced Africa,
my understanding is that we need as much time as possible for us to be able to debate and deliberate on the different issues that are before us. And that means that the more we continue to waste time, the less time we are going to have for us to debate. For example, if you look at the three motions, they're very important. Our last motion, which is on National Youth Council, is very important. The representation of youth is very important, and I think we would need adequate time for us to make sense of it, rather than spending most of our time in these other things and then we do not get the most important things. And to me, the most important things in this case are the issues that we are going to discuss, the resolutions that we are going to have in this place. So I'm going to grant us more 2-3 minutes. Yes, I've seen Doreen, she just gave me an eye, but it's beyond me now. So in the next 5 minutes, let's wind up. Yeah, and then we get started. Thank you. Hello, hello. I know most of us have been wondering, who is this speaking to us? My name is Brighton Abaho. I am a lawyer by training, but I practice policy and research. Today, we are convening here for the Busoga Sub-National Youth Parliament. And like Enoch earlier on said, this is the second for the Busoga subnational area. And this year, those of us who've been coordinating this process for the regional youth parliament, this is our last for this year, because we've been moving around the country, Western, Rwenzori, West Nile in Arua, North in Ugulu. Yesterday we were in Mbale. Today we are here in Jinja. And all these will be leading to the National Youth Parliament. I don't know whether we have applied already, those of us who wish to be part of the debate at the National Parliament chambers. The deadline is Friday, tomorrow. If you've not applied, kindly do so by applying before the end of tomorrow. Why are we convening the youth parliament? Why? We are convening the youth parliament to create spaces for young people to be able to come together, to deliberate and debate on matters that not just affect them as youth, but the country at large. Because the moment we start talking about things like service delivery, does it only affect the youth? It affects everyone within our society. When you talk about issues of teenage pregnancies, does it only affect the youth? No. Because if you've noticed, young girls who conceive are unable to go back to school, some of them, and that is very disastrous for our communities. Because the moment teenage girls are unable to proceed or to continue with school, then we are creating problems for us. Meaning that such young or teenage girls will be unable to amass knowledge, skills that would be important for the growth of our communities. So that's why we are here specifically convening the Busoga Youth Parliament, because we believe that the Youth Parliament is an opportunity for us to increase youth participation in policy making, in understanding of our democratic systems and processes. It is an opportunity for the youth to be able to discuss matters concerning not just our subnational areas, but matters of national interest and regional interests. Also, what we need to understand is that these youth parliaments that we are doing hope to bring together opinions, ideas, and needs of not just the youth, but our communities at large. Because the moment we do not create spaces for us to debate, to engage on matters that concern us, we end up being left behind. Earlier on, the person who he was talking about the process of policy formulation. Are we aware that a budget is a policy? Do you know that? So what is that process? Which starts from the grassroots level until are we aware that the PFMA, the Public Finance Management Act, requires every district to have a budget conference? And what is the use of that budget conference? It helps the districts to be able to gather views from the grassroots. And so such spaces are very important. And when we come here for such a place as the Youth Parliament, it's important because over time, the different key processes and platforms that have been put up have been dominated by senior men and senior women, which has disenfranchised the youth. Meaning that if we have a particular space, and also some of them that are in place, they have been politicized. But such a space is not politicized. It is a space that brings together every youth, whether you're in NUP, NRM, FDC, UPC, DP, or whether you're independent. It is an opportunity for us to gather here on one platform to deliberate. I'm not going to say a lot of things, but probably if any one of us has a question regarding the Youth Parliament, does any one of us have a question regarding the Youth Parliament? I'll be here to answer it, because I'm a product of the Youth Parliament. The first Youth Parliament in Uganda happened in 2017, and I was among the first people to attend the very first one. So the Youth Parliament has nurtured me personally. From just being an attendee, right now I'm a consultant on the National Youth Parliament. Yes, because at least I have seen its impact and what it does. Any question? Thank you very much. The parameters, if you've been able to address yourself to the link, it has specific questions, and it is how you answer those questions, your understanding of, for example, if they ask, why would you want to attend the Youth Parliament? Some people just say, yes. They do not bother to explain. Start explain. It would be an opportunity for me to learn, to network. So how you answer the questions that are in that link, it is used during the selection process.
What is the total number of participants that are supposed to partake in the National Youth Parliament? And if it's there, is it regionally subdivided that we can have Busoga sub-region have a particular number of people, and then Western etc. as the different sub-national youth parliaments are held?
Okay, thank you very much. There is no specific number. The number is always dependent on how much resources are available. Because as you know, the Youth Parliament is a platform that is coordinated by civil society organizations, working closely with the different institutions such as Parliament of Uganda, Ministry of Local Government, and the resources that are there are entirely from civil society organization, and of course with support from others. So once the resources are, I will not use the word enough, but adequate, depending on the resources available, then that determines the number of the people. But what is the most important thing is that during the selection process, the aspect of regional balance is highly put at the forefront. Thank you. That's all. Okay. Thank you very much. I am glad that you asked that question, and I would like to say that that was going to be my next point after your questions. The National Youth Parliament, what it does is that after all these issues have been deliberated from the region, then they have been debated on at the national level, at Parliament. If you're familiar with the policy language, we have something called a position paper. A position paper is developed. And such a position paper is shared with the different stakeholders, with the different offices. Office of the Speaker, the youth representatives, the youth members of Parliament, those are the ones that I'm talking about, Ministry of Gender, National Youth Council, Uganda National Students Association. And such a document, it helps in the advocacy process. It helps to engage the different stakeholders, because when you are going to the Ministry of, let's say, during the budget process, NYC or our youth members of Parliament are appearing before the Gender Committee, they will say, during the regional youth parliaments, we are able to gather these issues. And because of this, we can be able to have a budget on maybe ending teenage pregnancies. It facilitates, that's how important it is. If you recall, last year, those of you attended the National Youth Parliament, after our session, the follow-up that we had was a motion debated on the floor by Parliament, specifically on the state of youth affairs in the country. And this was covering a lot of things. It was covering investment of government in youth businesses, talking about the need to have tax incentives and tax holidays for youth startups. It was talking about how the youth have been able to, can benefit more from the parish development model. It was talking about issues to do with teenage pregnancies. And over time, some of these things, an example is from 2018, we used to talk about the aspect of climate change. And we were looking for, we really needed a law. As young people, we thought there was need for a law on climate change. Last year, the National Climate Change Act was passed. In 2017-18, we are trying to convince the government to amend the Local Government Act to allow youth between 18 and 35 to stand for positions such as chairperson LC3, because we believe that having many young people on the table, it facilitates, or it helps the issues of the young people to be on the table, to always be brought out. The act was amended. We now have 27-year-olds as chairperson LC3. Another thing, during COVID, we had something, we remember we had teenage pregnancies, and we were all worried that teenage mothers would not go back to school. From the debate that we had, it was actually a concern across the country. We asked government to consider engaging the Ministry of Education and schools to ensure that teenage mothers can go back to school. A motion debated in the House. It was brought by Her Excellency Jessica Alupo, the Vice President. Resolutions passed and made. The same was shared with Minister of Education. A directive from Minister of Education came out directing all schools to allow teenage mothers, whether they are breastfeeding, to go back to school. Wasn't that a success? Probably if we had not talked about it, we would not have had such teenage mothers go back to school. So there are very many things that we have had to debate on at both national and regional level, at the East African level. I hope that was the last question. 5 seconds. Thank you very much. Such a platform is dependent on resources by civil society organizations. There is no constitution because ideally there is no need of any constitution to govern such engagements, because the work that is done complements the work of the other government institutions such as NYC. We share knowledge and issues that we gather from such spaces. So we work closely, hand in hand. So you realize there is no need. And how many sittings? Like I've said, we would wish to have as many as possible. Ask the National Youth Council itself, which receives funding from government. How many sittings? Go to the district level. Ever since they were voted, how many have they been able to have? So it is dependent on the resources. We would have wanted to have as many as possible. But since resources are not available, we make it a point to make sure that at least we have a regional and a national one. I hope you answered. Thank you. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to appoint myself as a presiding officer to allow us vote for our speaker, who is going to lead us in this very session. Yes. Oh, I thought you had prayed before. Oh, I'm so sorry. And because you've said so, I am going to lead us in a word of prayer. Thank you very much. Father, King of glory, in the name of Jesus, we thank you very much. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for this time that you've gathered us here in your presence. As we sit in this place, oh Lord, we ask you to come and be with us. We ask your Holy Spirit to come and be with us. That Father, King of glory, in every deliberation that we're going to have, in every resolution that we're going to pass in this place, may it be used to the glory of your name. I pray all this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. From the regions where I've been trying to make sure that the capacity of the young people is built. And I always make sure, I ask around, that if you think you can lead us in a process of voting for a new speaker, kindly lead us through. Yes, in some areas, actually in Gulu, we had a colleague who helped us go through that. And I'm glad that before us, our outgoing speaker, he's very well conversant with the process, and I'm going to allow him to take us through the process of electing our speaker. Thank you. Because you never know, tomorrow I might not be here. We might have Princess here to do so really.
I'll use this one. Good morning, honorable members. How are you? My name is Tusubira Simon Peter. I am the outgoing Speaker of this Honorable House. And it is my pleasure to stand before you here to take you through the elections. I'll tell you just briefly what we've managed to do from the outgoing House. When I look at all of you here, there is only one member maybe who was in the last House. That is Chigenyi Rashid. Most of us, it is our first time being in this Busoga Youth Parliament. Ours was the first one, and this is the second. So it is an honor. It is indeed an honor to be in this second Youth Parliament. All that we managed to do, we had a successful Parliament last year, but also we were represented in the National Youth Parliament. We were greatly represented. And then we also had representation in the East African Youth Parliament. We tried to do things here and there together with the speakers of other sub-regional youth parliaments. We had proposed to come up with a project of, we wanted to have a campaign against teenage pregnancy. We had even wanted to start it from Busoga here in Kamuli. We tried lobbying here and there. We have all the paperwork. We didn't successfully do it, but we'll give the paperwork to you people who are now coming in, and we hope you people will now do it. We wanted to look at teenage pregnancies and also the campaign of HR. We also wanted to engage in that one, but it was only about funding and lobbying. That was our limitation. I am thinking this is a competent parliament that will take up all these things that we have not managed to finish, and you'll do it. I won't delay you. Let's go straight to voting for our speaker. We only vote for one position in the regional youth parliament, and that is the speaker. May I open nominations for people who wish to be speakers? Somebody should nominate you. One person is going to raise up their hand, nominate a name, and there will be somebody else to raise up their hand to second that nomination, and that will mean that we've agreed to that person to be part of the election. We'll go to the other people, and that will be the procedure of us electing for our speaker. Two people are important: the person nominating and the person seconding. And then afterwards, we have ballot papers. So by the time of voting, we'll have people write the names of the people who will have been nominated, the ones who will be candidates up front here. So, ladies and gentlemen, Enoch here is our coordinator to become candidates. May I open the nominations? I wanted to begin from this side, but many hands are here. Let me start with the first hand. You'll need to introduce yourself.
I am Chimeneke Abdul Aziz. My concern is let us not make this parliament go on record that in all parliament have sat, the Busoga Youth Parliament didn't put the recognition or dignity in our country and the East Africa. So we need to have the national anthems and the East African anthem before all proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are going to, when we convene as a house, the speaker has been elected, sworn in, all those processes are going to go on. The process that we are having here is semi-formal, such that we save time, and then, are we together?
Are those for nominations? Yes. Okay. Let me begin. This was the second hand.
Thank you, our chairperson. Up here is Simon Chikolira from Kamuli District. On the floor, I'm nominating Honorable Dikusoka Brian to preside over today's parliament. I beg to submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Simon. Is there anybody to second the nomination of Honorable Dikusoka? Yes.
Ideally second the nomination. Thank you.
Your name? And who are you seconding to be nominated?
My name is Amenton Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Seconding Honorable Dikusoka Brian.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Honorable Dikusoka, do you consent to the nomination? Okay. We have one candidate so far. We have one candidate, and nominations are still open. Can we get more nominations? There is only one hand right now. Yeah. Yes. I didn't get your prayer. Oh, there are more hands, but you weren't clear.
So, what happens when the House feels that the nominations should be closed? Like I said, the process that we are coordinating right now is semi-informal. We have to put some formality in it. So you move a motion that nominations be closed. That motion is seconded. After it has been seconded, the House must vote on that motion. Thank you.
There was a hand here. Right Honorable Dikusoka has been nominated. Is there any more hands? I see one hand here. Your name?
I'm called Wamono Israel Mike. I do propose a motion to be moved that to interest of time, with interest in time, let's move with retired Honorable Brian to lead us for that speakership post, and we continue with business. Thank you.
We are trying to make it a little more formal. If at all you are trying to move a motion, you do not only propose that we go with a candidate. You propose that, or you move the motion that nominations should be closed.
Once again.
Let's go with the motion.
Yes, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I, Edgar Mpuga, move a motion that nomination be closed so that we move to the next agenda. Thank you.
Is there anybody to second that? Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Trevor Matthias Segawa, and I believe that this August House should not be misguided to, in the interest of time, to underlook the democratic views and opinions of other honorables. The House should be satisfied that there are no nominations anymore before a motion can be moved to have nominations closed. I submit.
Honorable, your name was? Trevor Matthias objects to your motion. Let's have one more opinion. Do you mind having?
Hi everyone, I'm called Sashenamgoro Brenda. Me, I oppose. I nominate Nambi Kelea for the speakership.
There is one more nomination there. Do we have anybody to second that nomination?
I Mbaiza Peace, second Nambi Claire.
do you give consent to that nomination, Nambi Claire?
Of course I do.
Any more nominations? We have 2 candidates now. There is a hand here. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Ismail once again. I think we were moving real quick, and I beg to nominate Honorable Wegulo. Thank you.
Anybody to... What is the full name of Wegulo? Okay. Yes.
I, Trevor Matthias Segawa, second the nomination of Wegulo Abdunidal for the speakership race.
Thank you very much. We have 3 candidates now. Is there any more nomination? There is a hand here. Oh, Mr. Wegulo, do you consent to that nomination?
Yes. My name is Watongwa Edmond. I hereby to close the motion that we close the nomination.
Maybe just to put it right, you move a motion to close nomination.
I move a motion to close the nomination.
Is there anybody to second that?
Right, Honorable Speaker, I would like to second the motion of closing the nominations so that we move to the next agenda. Thank you.
All right, we shall vote to that motion. The ones who are in favor of the motion, you say aye. If you think that the nomination should be closed, please say aye. If you think the nomination should not be closed, say nay. The ayes have it. The nominations are closed for the position of Speaker of the 2nd Busoga Youth Parliament. May we invite all the people that have been nominated to give us a word in at least 1 minute.
Thank you very much. My name is Nambi Claire, contesting for speakership. And I'll first thank you all honorables for attending this parliament, the 2nd Busoga Youth Parliament. Indeed, this is a great opportunity for us as ladies. And ladies, can you please clap for yourselves? Thank you for coming. Yes, my reason for contesting for this post, I'd like to show the ladies that these positions are not only for male gender, but even us as women, we can also stand on our feet and raise up for speakership. On top of that, I'd like to be, as elected speaker, to be able to balance up the parliament, because the parliament, it involves different people, different youths of different characters, people of different abilities. We have the male gender, we have the female gender, and we have people with disabilities. So as the speaker, in case I'm given a chance, I'll be able to balance off this parliament. And I'd like to tell you, my fellow youths, that this parliament, this is not competition. This is a fair play where we are here to connect, to unite, and associate so that we can be able to fight our challenges as the youths. So upon everything that I've put forward, I kindly request for your vote. Kindly support me. I remain Nambi Claire. Thank you.
The August House, good morning yet again. My name is Abunidal Wegulo Mubale. My intention for running for speakership, I don't expect you people to expect me to to give you a very big manifesto that I'm not going to be able to follow up. I'm ready to continue from where I'll call him my ancestor, because we've led at different platforms. I'm here to complete what he has not managed to complete because of time, and from then we shall bring other things on board. I'm not going to say that I'm going to fight for the boy child or the girl child, because all of us matter, right? Yeah, so all we need is equity, not equality. Are we together? Thank you very much. I seek for your support.
Thanks so much. Dear honorables, before you is Busoga Brian. I'm contesting for this position, being the speaker of this second Busoga Youth Parliament, because of the following views. One, me, Busoga Brian, I want to awaken the youth's potential in the Busoga sub-region more so, through business, leadership, and politics, because we've realized that there are a lot of youth in the Busoga sub-region, but their voices are not being heard. I want to assure you that here the population is just less, actually it is 0.2 the use of Busoga sub-region. But I want to assure you that when we put our voice together, we can rise and get what we want. Secondly, my fellow honorables, I want to assure you that we shall fight and revamp for the fair sort for every youth in Busoga sub-region. And we can do it as long as we have the potential to raise our voice, and we shall have a common voice with Busoga Brian. My fellow honorables, before you, I also want to put across my third point. We want to seek for the opportunities, lobby, and get those opportunities. We have very many NGOs across the country. Can't we utilize those opportunities? And we hope our own youth in the villages. My last point as I summarize, Busoga Brian is going to work with you, making sure that we create unity and solidarity among our youth in the Busoga Youth Parliament. Thanks so much. May Almighty God bless me.
Okay, thank you very much, honorables. I think you've heard from all of them, and therefore we want to recognize the presence of our guest of honor. We thank you very much for arriving. So we are going straight to the voting. Now we want to know how many people are here and are going to vote. He's going to be counting that number. You will be given a ballot paper where you write the name of your favorite honorable that you want to be the next speaker. You have an argument? Yes. It is going to be okay. So maybe I'll just repeat the names. Please stand up and mention your name. Maybe you can take Wegulo.
Busoga Brian, DHIKUSOKA.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So we are still confirming the number.
The total number of eligible voters. Eligible, it is very important. My colleague there might decide to vote for one Nambi Claire. But the total number of eligible voters is 43. Thank you.
Okay. So he will distribute one ballot paper. Please, one. not try to also make your own papers so that you can write more people. These papers are unique. They have a seal that we can only see by some machines here. So, and may everybody please vote on their own. Do not vote for another person. Eh. You have a question? What's the matter? Okay, that will be handled. So voting is done. Everybody has handed in their ballot papers. It's time to count the votes.
So as I was taking the counting, the two colleagues have gone out to pick calls. So that makes our number 45 from 43. A colleague there and another colleague there. There are two of them that have gone out. So our total number is 45. But we have to confirm whether it is 45 for the whole house. Is that okay? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 22, 23. I can confirm that you are alert. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 24:45.
Okay, every candidate will send at least one person to be their polling agent. Okay, one, exactly one. Not only at least, exactly one. We want one.
Brian. Wait, they have to confirm. Great. Honorable Brian. Extend. They need to. Brian. Honorable Mubale. Nambi Claire. Brian. Claire. Wegulo. Brian. Nambi. Brian. Brian. Wegulo. Wegulo. Claire. Wegulo. Brian. Wegulo. Wegulo. Brian. 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 Wegulo. Wegulo. Like I said, the spelling does not matter as long as it fits within the intention. Brian. Someone might write brain, but Brian. Nambi Claire. Claire. Brian. Brain. Brian. Brian. Wegulo. DB. Brian. Claire. Brian 5 times. valid. Brian. Wegulo. Brian. Claire. And finally, Nambi Claire.
Okay, I think before we even count, may we clap for the people taking us through the process. Maybe also to cool the air, let us clap for the people who have contested. So it is time for counting, and you could ask through him also. Do not add papers. Okay, thank you very much. He wishes that we clap in that way. Maybe we shall use that particular way to clap for the winner. Okay. All people that contested are winners. And therefore, we are going to count. May I start from here? Okay, this is Abdinadal Wegulo. We are counting together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, Wegulo Abdinadal. This is Brian Kusoka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Clear. Nambi clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is it for Nambi Claire. Therefore, these are the results as you've voted. And as I announce, I want to tell you that everybody here is a winner. Nambi Claire has garnered 10 votes. You remember the other clap is only for the Abdunadal Wegulo has 11 votes. So let us clap for the winner with 24 votes, Brian Kusoka. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. as we were organizing, many of you are calling in to ask for the positions of clerk to this parliament. Everybody wished to be, but we had wanted that everybody that contests for this election will be a winner. And therefore, we automatically have our clerks to this parliament as Abdunadal Wegulo and Nambi Clear. So we will have these people move out so that they prepare for session and they will come in. As they are coming in, we shall also have our Sergeant at Arms as Honorable Edgar Mpuga. Yes, and that is how our parliament will be organized. Thank you very much for being part of this election. May the good Lord keep, bless, and protect you until we finish this session.
I think we can leave this here, right?
In fact, we did not elect for a clerk. We didn't even elect for clerk. Those are appointed, all of them. You do not elect for clerk and sergeant in Faraja.
Okay, I think, let me clear. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes, yes. Order in house. Maybe to clarify, the only elected position is speakership, and then the other positions are appointed by the committee.
Thank you very much, Enoch. Like Enoch said, we can only vote for a speaker. I do not know whether in the procedures of parliament or local council sittings we have ever seen any of the council or parliament, voting for sergeant at arms or clerk. What happens is all these are appointed. But because of inclusion in these spaces, most of the times we ask those who are contesting whether they're interested in serving in those positions. If one of them is interested in serving as a clerk, they'll come and serve as a clerk. And then there are other individuals who are interested in serving in the same. So we do not have to vote for such positions. But for purposes of this very sitting, if any of the two candidates who did not make it through are interested, they can be our clerk. Is that in order? Thank you. And in an event that they are not interested, I believe that there is someone else who is interested in the same. It's just a matter of raising up your hand and you say, please, I'm kind of interested in serving as the clerk or sergeant at arms. Thank you.
You sit there up next to him. One. You sit up. One pass the other side, this one. All right. As we are going on, before we sit, we are going to first have the anthems, the national anthem, and probably the Busoga anthem and East African anthem, and a prayer. Have you had a prayer before? Okay, so we can sing the anthems, and then we proceed. So as before or after? Okay, before we sing the anthems, we shall have the speaker to first take his oath, and then we can proceed.
I, Busoga Brian. You first wait. You first wait. You first, it has. You first tell him to. I, Busoga Brian, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda in the office of Speaker of Parliament, that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as by law established. So help me God.
Who's going to lead us? The clerk.
Let us sing the Uganda national anthem. O Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hands. United, free, for liberty, together we'll always stand. The East African anthem. E Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tuimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. the Busoga anthem. Tuli banka bino yenga twesimye ino olwaina ifo y'Obusoga kibumbe yatuwa olw'ekirabo kye ekikolowo tweyimbenga Busoga tebenkerenga ensenense. Abantu mwena mwena mu Busoga mwide twisani tukulembera ise bantu male tufuna omwoyo mwamufu tugonzaganyenga enina ya Uganda. Ife tuli banka bino yenga twesimye ino olwaina ifo y'Obusoga kibumbe olw'ekirabo kye ekikolowo tweyimbenga Busoga tebenkerenga ensenense.
Thank you so much. You can take your seats. Before the speaker takes on to start the session officially, we've been joined by our guests. We have a representative of the resident city commissioner here, and also a round of applause. And also the speaker of the Busoga Kingdom Youth Council, who's also representing our guest of honor, the Minister of Youth Affairs in Busoga region, in Busoga Kingdom. So we are much obliged to receive you here. Thank you for honoring our invitation and sparing time to come and see the young people deliberate on the issues affecting them. Maybe to make a very brief introduction about what is happening. This is the second Busoga Subnational Youth Parliament. National Youth Parliament was initiated in the year 2018 by a combination of civil society organizations led by Faraja African Foundation in partnership with the European Union, the German Corporation, GIZ, and other partners, to mention but a few. It operates in different sub-regions in the country. This is the 6th time it's happening. West Nile, Northern, Western, Rwenzori, Central, across the country. Now, recently it was happening in Eastern, but Eastern was being represented in Mbale city. And then last year, they decided to also expand it so that the Eastern region can be divided into two, one in Mbale and then another one to represent Busoga here in Jinja city. So we appreciate the partners for considering Busoga. So this is a platform that brings the young people to have an image of what happens in Parliament, and then also deliberate on issues, but following the parliamentary rules of procedure, because we have very many ambitious young people who want to participate in policy formulation and so on and so forth. Now, after here, we collect these views and submit them through our line youth members of Parliament, because we are also in partnership with the Parliament of Uganda, where we have the National Youth Parliament in Parliament of Uganda. The issues and opinions deliberated on by the young people are submitted to the office of the Speaker of Parliament, and they are tabled through the office of the Speaker of Parliament and the youth members of Parliament to the National Parliament. So we don't take the views for granted that we just write them and then we go back home, but there is also a follow-up on what is being submitted by the young people up to the parliamentary level. So here before you, our guest of honor are the young people from different backgrounds. We have young people from civil society organizations that operate in Busoga. We have young people from representing the students from the Uganda National Students Association, ONSA. We have representatives from different universities and institutions of higher learning in Busoga region. We have young people from the National Youth Parliament, and from the National Youth Council, and from other different backgrounds. we have the representatives of the people with disabilities and other stakeholders. So we always convene here once a year and deliberate on the motions. You're going to be served with an order paper to see